Having a massive back and achieving that V-taper is probably the #1 goal for everyone, unless you like looking small. But there is so many crucial back training mistakes that people make which slow down their progress by a lot, or just overall make it impossible to ever get to that dream V-taper. That's why today I'm going to clear it all up for you, so that you can finally achieve what you want. First, you need to learn one very crucial thing about the back. You need to understand how it works and what it responds to. Once you know that, you will instantly eliminate at least half of the mistakes you are doing. The back is all about weighted stretch. That's what it responds to the best. You need to absolutely drill this piece of information into your head, because it's the key to growing a massive back. If you are not really sure what weighted stretch means, it simply refers to your back muscles getting stretched under load on both the top and the bottom part of the lift. So if you take the lat pull down for example, you want the maximum stretch in the bottom position, but also in the top position. Unfortunately, most people are completely missing out on this due to their poor technique. And as we established, the weighted stretch is the most important thing for growing your back. So if you are missing out on it, of course that your back is going to look mediocre. So let's start with the most common mistakes on the lat pull down. The one mistake that is very prominent, especially in beginners, is that instead of pulling the bar to your upper chest, you pull it somewhere to your belly or your crotch, where it almost looks like that halfway through the exercise you changed your mind and decided that instead of the lat pull down, you want to do the tricep push down instead. So you need to eliminate this. Always pull the bar towards your upper chest, and if you can touch your upper chest with the bar, that's perfect. Yes, you don't have to directly come in contact with your upper chest, but you should still be close to it. But then you have to be careful that while you try to pull the bar towards your upper chest, you don't let your body fall backwards, because that is obviously cheating, and it's a sign that you are using weight that is too heavy for you. Because the only way that you can pull down that weight is if you lay your entire body into it, and that's not what it's about. If you are not able to cleanly get the bar down close to your upper chest without cheating, please drop down the weight, because you are not gaining anything by doing that. You are only losing. But even if some people know that they are supposed to pull the bar towards their upper chest, they then completely fail in the range of motion department. And that is not only relevant to the lat pull down, but to all back exercises. If I show you a line that represents the full range of motion with the top and the bottom parts of the exercise highlighted, you can clearly see that if all you are doing is this, then you are missing the most impactful parts of the exercise. That's why your range of motion should look like this instead. You know, I get it, avoiding the top and the bottom parts of the exercise makes it so much easier and so much more comfortable to do. But if you want it to be comfortable, you should have gone to the beach and not to the gym. Now we need to talk about one other very important thing which just makes it straight up impossible for some people to do back exercises correctly. But before we get to that, let me show you my training plans. If you are someone who feels really overwhelmed and you just want to get a great foundation that you can just grab and go, then this is exactly for you. These training plans are built on the basic exercises that stood the test of time, which makes them perfect if you just want to cut out all the noise that makes you overwhelmed and just get to what really matters. If that's you, stop overcomplicating, click the first link below and start getting jacked the way it was meant to be. Now for our next mistake, which as I said is insanely important, and I am not over-exaggerating, it makes all the difference. I'm going to tell you basically the #1 rule of back training. You have for sure heard in the past that you need to focus on pulling with your elbows and not with your hands. Which is true, this is very important, but it goes a little deeper than this. Because when you hear pull with your elbows, it's kind of hard to imagine what it really means. So I'm going to try to simplify it for you, so that you can understand it completely and get the best back gains possible. First thing you have to realize is that your hands are only for holding the weight, otherwise they are just hooks, that's all. All the pulling is done by your elbows. And to pull with your elbows correctly, you need to remember one simple thing. Your forearms always need to be in line with the direction of the pull. Your forearms shouldn't be in this position or even this position. They always need to be perfectly aligned. This is how you pull with your elbows and not with your arms. And this is not only relevant for the lat pull down, this goes for all the back pulling exercises, so make sure that you remember this. Then the only thing left you need to succeed is to keep your chest up, back straight and make sure that your shoulders don't collapse. If you find it really difficult to hold this position and you are constantly crumbling, I have a recommendation for you. You should try exploring chest supported back exercises, because on exercises like that, your chest is supported, so your back won't be rounding. When you do that, you can purely focus on just correctly pulling the weight. And if you are struggling to keep your back straight, you are probably still relatively new to the gym, so having the freedom to just purely focus on improving your pulling will be very helpful. Also, if you are still relatively new to the gym or you have just never dove deeper into exercise selection, you need to know that there are two types of back exercises, and it's crucial that you do both of them, so let me explain. The two types of back exercises are 1. A vertical pull and 2. A horizontal pull. Vertical pulling exercises are all the pull-up and lat pull-down like exercises, and the horizontal pulling exercises are all the rowing exercises. So what you really don't want to do is, for example, do only horizontal exercises without any vertical exercises, which just leads to imbalanced development of the back. So if you want your back to look as good as possible, include both of these movement patterns. But there are also other ways of going about it. For example, if you say, I really want to get better at doing pull-ups, that's my focus, and then you only do pull-ups for like 3 months, that's completely fine, as long as you go back to doing both movement patterns later. The thing you just don't want to do is go years and years with just one type of movement pattern. This is not only a back training mistake, but it applies to all body parts. That's why I created this simplified cheat sheet, which has all the movement patterns, all the exercises, and all the rep ranges for every single body part. You can grab it for absolutely free in the pinned comment. Then take a look at all the movement patterns and make sure that your routine has it covered. Now we need to talk about thumbs, as they are very important when it comes to back training. For the best back gains, you should definitely try using the thumbless grip. And while I wouldn't really call this a mistake, because using a normal grip with your thumb is fine, but there is a reason why most of the big guys that you see in the gym are using the thumbless grip on their back exercises. It just makes it so much easier to feel your back way more. That's why usually when you go thumbless, you don't go back, because it feels so much more natural. And now for something that you might have not really seen coming in a back training mistakes video. And that is rear delts. More specifically, neglecting rear delts. Even though this could probably be in the shoulder version of this video, having strong rear delts is super important for your back training. Mainly because when you are pulling, the rear delts play a big role in that. After all, if you are doing a push-pull legs routine, you are training rear delts on the pull days, together with your back, so that should tell you something. The rear delts are one of the most neglected body parts, so usually when I tell someone that they should focus on their rear delts, they just make the surprised Pikachu face. That's why in most of my training plans, I recommend doing 5 sets of rear delt isolation per session, and not just 3. Because majority of people are simply lacking in that department, so they need to do everything in their power to fix that. And this applies to you too, the one watching this video right now. Not only for the functionality, but also because having massive rear delts is gonna make you look so much bigger from the side, so it's just a no-brainer to train them. And you don't have to worry about some extra fatigue created by doing some more isolation work for your rear delts, because it's just that. Isolation. It only targets the small area of the body you are currently isolating, so your body won't be feeling beat up even if you do more sets than 3. Now you fixed all your back training mistakes, now go fix your chest training.